9 foods you should avoid if you have hypothyroidism or thyroid problems. There are certain things you should never eat, and you should never stop taking your hypothyroid medication. The medication your endocrinologist gave you. It is very important to treat hypothyroidism. Always listen to your endocrinologist, but also what you eat can affect your thyroid gland and your body's ability to use thyroid hormone. Hypothyroidism is a disease in which the body does not produce enough thyroid hormones. Thyroid hormones help to control your growth. As a result, people suffering from hypothyroidism may experience tiredness, hair loss, weight gain, feeling cold, feeling sick, and many other symptoms. Hypothyroidism affects 1 to 2% of people worldwide and is 10 times more likely to affect women than men. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and activate notifications to keep up to date with our updates. Number 1. You should avoid soy and its derivatives. Even though soy is a very nutritious legume, in studies carried out on animals, it was observed that isoflavones, one of its components, can affect the thyroid by interfering with certain hormonal processes. There is a great debate among researchers on this subject. Some researchers believe that excess soy can cause hypothyroidism, and others believe that only deficient iodine type should avoid soy. Other research suggests that soy can interfere with the absorption of hypothyroid medications, so it is recommended to wait at least 4 hours after taking your medication before consuming any soy foods. 2 soy-based foods are tofu and soy flour. Number 2. You should avoid broccoli and other cruciferous vegetables. Cruciferous vegetables such as cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, and broccoli can interfere with thyroid hormone production. If you are deficient in iodine and if you eat large amounts of it, the researchers found that eating too many of these foods can limit the thyroid gland's ability to use iodine, which is essential for normal thyroid function. If you still want to eat these foods, you can cook them to reduce their damaging effect on the thyroid, but don't go over 140 grams a day. Number 3. Avoid gluten. Gluten is a group of proteins found in bread, pasta, and rice. You should reduce the consumption of foods processed with wheat, barley, and other grains. An article, published in May 2017 in the magazine specialized in endocrinological connections, found that many people with hypothyroidism also have another autoimmune disease, 𝗃𝗿𝗆 or celiac disease. Although avoiding gluten does not treat hypothyroidism, you should talk to your doctor to see if it is worth eliminating gluten from your diet or find out if you have celiac disease. Gluten is especially harmful to celiac people, as it can irritate the small intestine. When you eat gluten-containing foods, make sure they come from whole grains and are high in fiber, as they are rich in nutrients and regulate intestinal functions. If you decide to eat gluten, take your medicine for hypothyroidism a few hours before or a few hours after eating the gluten-rich foods, so they don't interfere with the absorption of your medications. If after eating gluten-containing foods you have a stomachache, bloating or vomiting, see a doctor for a celiac blood test. Removing gluten from your meals should avoid these symptoms. Number 4. You should avoid foods rich in goitrogen. They are chemicals that alter the production of thyroid hormones by interfering with iodine uptake in the thyroid gland. This causes the pituitary gland to release more thyroid-stimulating hormone, and this causes further growth of thyroid tissue, which can cause goiter or hypothyroidism. Foods that contain goitrogen are soy foods such as tofu and certain vegetables, like cabbage, broccoli, kale, cauliflower, and spinach, and some fruits and starchy plants, sweet potatoes, cassava, and peaches. Some nuts and seeds like millet, pine nuts, and peanuts. In theory, people with hypothyroidism should avoid foods with goitrogen, but human studies found that this was not a problem if eaten moderately. Unfortunately, the problem was only seen when people overeat or have an iodine deficiency problem. Number 5. Avoid high-fat foods like fried foods. Boston Medical Center found that fats interfere with the absorption of synthetic hormone replacement medications for hypothyroidism. These can also interfere with the ability of the thyroid to produce it naturally. It is best to stop eating all that fried food and limit your intake of butter, mayonnaise, margarine, and fatty meats. Number 6. Avoid high-sugar foods like chocolate. Hypothyroidism can cause metabolism to slow down, and that's the reason why the body fattens faster. You should avoid foods high in sugar because it is extra calories and without nutrients. They can cause obesity and complications to your condition. Number 7. Avoid processed or frozen foods. Processed foods have a lot of sodium, and people with hypothyroidism should avoid sodium because of the increased risk of high blood pressure, and sodium increases the risk of high blood pressure. You should limit your sodium intake to 1,500 milligrams a day, according to the American Heart Society. Processed foods have large amounts of sodium, sugar, and fats. Everything that people with hypothyroidism should not consume. Get used to reading the labels of the products you buy in the supermarket, so you know what your body will receive. Number 8. Excess fiber from legumes and vegetables. A diet rich in fiber is very good for your intestinal health, but the excess fiber can interfere with the absorption of thyroid hormone. According to the current dietary recommendations, women require 25 grams of fiber a day, and men 38. It will be your doctor who will determine if you maintain these numbers or reduce them. You should not stop eating fiber, just do not do it in excess or that do it when you take your meds. Wait a few hours after taking your thyroid med before eating high fiber foods. Number 9. Avoid coffee 30 minutes before taking your thyroid meds. Caffeine is known to block the absorption of the med. Replacement hormone thyroid medications should be taken exclusively with water, and wait at least 30 minutes before drinking a cup of coffee or any food to ensure that the effect of the medication will be adequate. We hope this video has been useful to you. If there is something you want to add, please share it with us in the comments section. Like this video and send the link to your family and best friends, so they also know what foods they should not eat if they have hypothyroidism. If you are new to our channel, don't forget to subscribe. Remember, life is always better if you take care of your health.